Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for coming back. This is our continuing series of bartender masterclasses, and we're doing a continuing series on mastery. So if you watched the last video or if you've gone to our podcast, you know we've been talking about mastery in three phases. The first is the head, the second the hands, and the third is the heart. If you saw the last video, I talked about training and I talked about mastery of the head in terms of data. When you talk about it in those terms, it might sound like I was diminishing it a little bit, which I wasn't. Data is essential. Where you get that data from is essential as well, and those are not always choices that young bartenders can make because they have jobs, right? So if they had their own guidance, they wouldn't need mentors to guide them through the process. But that's the basis of mastery of the head, is the collection of information and the imprint on your brain of how to contextualize what a cocktail is and how to make it. There's a lot of people now who kind of jump from bar to bar to bar, so system to system to system, because they want to get as much information as possible and they want to take as many different ways as possible and just try to figure out how to become something that includes, you know, something from this place or this school or that school. And it's not a bad impulse. But the danger is, as you're skipping from place to place, you don't truly get to understand the information that you're learning. So if you work 6 months at a place and then walk away thinking that you understand what that system is, you're probably not correct. Because even just in the head layer, there's so much to understand about why things happen the way they do. So take something simple, you know, an old fashioned. Very, very simple drink. And many, many ways to make it. And each house will have its own way. But they don't add up. So you don't walk away with a new version of what you think an old-fashioned is. You just walk away with a bunch of sometimes conflicting philosophies about why the drink is made the way it is. Danger aside, the path of mastery of the head is a fascinating one because there's so much information in the world now. It's hard to sift through it and it's hard to know what's actually right. But that's where study comes. That's where travel comes, where you can, instead of listening to a seminar from someone about how tequila is made, for example, now we have opportunities to go to places in Jalisco and participate in the process of making tequila. From there comes relationships, and the relationships are with people who do things and know things and are experts in their own field, and being able to learn things directly from them is firmly in the layer of mastery of the head. Just because you move on a path that includes hands and heart doesn't mean the head stuff actually stops. That's a lifelong obsession, really. And you'll find what you're interested in. You'll find what you actually want to become an expert at yourself. That's the lovely thing about mastery of the head, is because you never master it. You just eventually learn, just like many other things in life, what most interests you, and then you spend more and more time, as you can and as your career dictates, going out and finding true information about what those things are, and then putting it back and layering it in where it belongs in your life as a bartender. So mastering the head is not a small thing. It's part of the path of what it is to be a great bartender. My criticism in training programs in general is not that it focuses on the head, but it focuses only on the head. Because the phase of mastery that is mastery of the head is understandable, it's teachable, it's testable. It's something that you can be quizzed on. It's something that you can verify yourself in certain senses, in a way that you can't with other levels of mastery, because because those levels have much more to do with, you know, physicality and emotion and broad topics that aren't easily put down in words. So as we continue on, I want to remind you a couple things. One, the purpose of these small videos is to start conversations and then lead you hopefully to the podcast, listen to the whole conversation, and then get a hold of me, and then we can kind of figure out where this masterclass series is going to go. If you want to see the links to the podcast and everything else we're doing, then down here is the expand the description, and we have information and we have links to where you can go next. Subscribe. I think the button's right here. Subscribe to this channel and you'll be informed when the next videos go up, and we're going to have anywhere from 1 to 4 a week, kind of depending on what the topic is, but we're doing as many as we can. As a parting shot, I want you to remember this. we can't be bartenders right now in the way that we're used to. So but we can be bartenders in different ways. And this is one of the ways we can do it, to really sit and look at what we do for a living and try to talk about it in a way that we don't normally have the freedom to do. So I'm glad that you're participating, and I will look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you.